Have you ever questioned why sharing too much about yourself makes you uncomfortable? Have you noticed that sometimes the things you share on social media just serve to... If you haven't thought about your emotional load previously, this video is for you. And if you have, stay put to see if my ideas are shared by your Stoic philosophers, held the opinion that some things ought to be kept secret, since disclosing them would not have any beneficial results. These are lively life lessons, not just academic theories. Originating from ages of Stoic philosophical thought, Stoicism's timeless wisdom leads us to inner tranquility, and come along with me as we explore the 10 things that Stoic philosophy tells us to maintain our privacy. These are not merely guidelines for living their secrets, which support us in developing our inner fortitude and building a meaningful existence and tranquility, that each of these points provides a chance for introspection, education, and development, so that we are more than just things, but genuinely thrive with all of our convictions and beliefs intact. Locate a peaceful area, close your eyes, and inhale deeply to get ready. For the profound Stoic philosophical insights on the 10 things we should remain discreet in order to develop into true Stoics. Stay and observe the whole. Add a comment stating, "I'm here to let me know you work on this," after watching the video. Journey of transformation grounded in Stoic wisdom. First philosophy: refrain from speaking poorly about Stoic secrets. Number 1. Avoid speaking bad things about yourself. When you make mistakes in life or run into obstacles that prevent you from route to reaching your objectives, how do you typically respond? And do you frequently tell yourself, "I'm ineffective or I won't recover from these remarks"? Do you feel like you're progressively losing the drive to get up and carry on? Feel like giving up? Are you aware of how damaging the words you speak are to yourself? Are under a lot of pressure in modern life and expectations. We occasionally torture and harshly criticize ourselves. Sad remarks made by Emperor Marcus Aurelius and as the great Stoic philosopher once said, "Happiness requires very little. Life is all inside you, whatever you choose to live it." Thinking Stoic philosophy holds that your ideas are what ultimately, whether or not your life is genuinely happy, will depend on how you handle different events. Being the controller of your own happiness, you have the power to. Have you ever pondered why certain people in life are always so positive and resilient despite all obstacles? They lack any significance. The key to success lies in how people approach and converse with themselves when they have bad luck. They don't allow depressing remarks break their spirits, and constantly remind oneself, "I can handle it and everything will work out," as opposed to stating, "I'm incompetent or never complete something correctly." Use words of encouragement like, "What did I learn from this error?" or "How I may do better the future time." If you continue to believe that "I failed" implies that you are worthless and that you should blame yourself for staying mired in a disappointment, this negative thinking will eventually reflect in your life. Precisely the manner you dreaded beginning today. Cease uttering. When you find yourself in a difficult situation, keep in mind your genuine strength and resilience originates internally when you talk and have confidence in yourself. Positively, you unlock the door to a contented and prosperous life. Life, as Marcus Aurelius pointed us, your level of happiness relies on let the quality of your thoughts serve as a source of motivation to assist you overcome all difficulties. Number 2, don't be negative Stoic secrets. Number 2, don't blame the issue on you. Before start this lesson, I want you to picture a scenario where there has occurred or might occur in your life. Consider a difficult day at incomplete assignments and many errors that are forgotten odds and receiving a reprimand from your supervisor. Chances are you've encountered some of what actions do you do next? Do you frequently file complaints with your co-workers about how much work you're doing, or your boss things, but what are the outcomes? Do you feel more or better overall? You could feel temporarily relieved if you're fatigued and stuck whining, but it doesn't address the underlying issue when we lament that we're not. Rather than making things better, we're making things worse and starting a vicious cycle of frustration. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius stated that all that occurs is whether it is enduring or not. If it is, then persevere through it. If something is intolerable, then cease whining. Remember that if you moan about your devastation, it will also mean its end. Anything your mind can make bearable, you can tolerate by approaching it as in your to act in such a manner in your best interest, or in your... Perhaps this statement serves as a reminder that resilience is the foundation of great strength. When faced with challenges, maintain your composure by choosing to remain grounded and refrain from complaining. If you continue to whine, concentrate on the things you can manage. Discover that your life is simply becoming worse as a result of your excessive energy. The Stoic philosophy inhibits feeling, instead of concentrating on finding solutions. This belief that the more you gripe, the less time you have to find a solution to the... Imagine the following scenario. You've recently been assigned a challenging project at work. Your initial reaction to a deadline crunch could be to grumble about the amount of work and little time you have. Time to your co-workers, but rather than griping, you choose to concentrate on finding solutions to the issue. You wonder, how can I finish this project most efficiently, effectively, and when you stop, is there somebody on the team who can assist me? If you stop grumbling and take initiative, you'll notice changes. You can organize and divide the task into minor jobs and ask for help as necessary so that you can finish the project on schedule and are pleased with your progress. You've not only attained your objectives while also improving your time and pressure management skills while. When facing challenges, pause and take a big breath before feeling the need to whine. Calm down, concentrate on identifying solutions, and take notes on what occurred. After the issue has been fixed, you can consider the shared experience. The account of the challenge and how you overcome it to get control of your respondents. Don't always voice complaints as soon as issues arise, since will persist unless you take action to address problems. Before we arrive at lesson number 3, I have a thought-provoking question for you. Have you ever? If you're wondering why we have one mouth but 2 ears, the explanation is as follows. Let's begin the third lesson. Stoic Secrets number 3. Remain silent and learn to listen. Third tip, learn to listen well and don't talk too much. Epictetus outlined our 2 ears and 1 mouth in response to this inquiry, so that we may hear twice as much as humans can hear. But why is listening so important? It's crucial that we all continue to listen when conversing. Listening is about more than just being silent when someone else speaks, requires that you pay close attention, and realizing that we learn when we pay attention. Furthermore, an effective listener may comprehend the issue well, and also give precise and practical answers. For instance, at a meeting, if you listen to your co-workers for a while, you'll learn a variety of viewpoints and are able to provide more profound and intelligent. Have you ever realized that a good leader isn't necessarily someone who listens well, but a good leader is unquestionably a good listener, and leaders benefit from listening. Learn things more thoroughly, take into account many perspectives, and make the best making sensible choices. Listening is another method to respect and care for other people. You can't express all of your emotions to someone when you're having problems. Someone you trust has to be the one you confide in. Consider that carefully now, but in the opposite direction, when someone makes the effort to open up to you, it demonstrates how much you mean to therefore, rather than giving them advice right away or voicing your views, sit down and hear what they have to say. You may inquire as to how they feel about item or the thing that has most concerned you by paying close attention, recognizing that you support and comfort your friend. When you give someone your whole attention, you convey a strong message that they are important and that their viewpoints should be heard. This not only reinforces the relationship, but it also fosters closeness and trust. Consider instances when you felt like you were really heard during a conversation. Feel at ease and assured in your spouse, so the next time you're having a talk, try listening to friends, relatives, or co-workers. You'll find intriguing details you might have overlooked for a while. Time when you listen, you improve not just your understanding of people, but also make your own life more fulfilling and abundant. But keep in mind that wisdom does not only through speaking, but also through hearing and grasp. Allow the Stoic philosopher's lessons to direct you. Pay more attention, more than you say, and you'll discover that your life improves and becomes more. To indicate that you are prepared to become a listener, please leave a harmonious comment. True statement. Number 4. Don't stress over small things. Stoic secrets. Number 4. Don't stress over things you can't control. Uncontrollably, one terrible reality of life is that things frequently don't turn out the way we want them to. We desire success, pleasure, and joy, but occasionally life presents us with unforeseen difficulties. What should we? Since we are unable to send these unwanted presents, can we simply accept and face them? This fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy, that is, differentiating between what Epictetus highlighted, what you cannot control, you can control. There is only one path to happiness, and that is to give up worrying about things that are beyond of your control of our volition. Death and old age are uncontrollable. Nonetheless, our attitudes about them, their acts, and we have no influence over other people's aspirations. All we can do is choose how we respond to them. With them, we may manage our desires and ideas. Beyond that, we are powerless to control anything. Otherwise, we waste time worrying about things that are out of our control, priceless moments that we may use to better ourselves and accomplish important objectives. Begin with a precise definition of what you can, cannot, and what you can only decide how much energy to expend. After all, you should commit to each other as of right now and learn to let go of. Avoid needless concerns and concentrate on what you can control. Allow the Stoic philosopher's insight to lead you to a calm and contented existence. After you cease worrying about things outside of your control, you'll discover that life gets easier and more. Excellent lesson on differentiating between things that are under your control and those that are not. Control brings up lesson number 5. Don't discuss your personal accomplishment. Number 5. Avoid bragging about your own Stoic secrets. Number 5. Refrain from discussing your own success, accomplishments. Social networks have evolved into a platform with the emergence of technology, enabling people to showcase their greatest moments, accomplishments, and personal achievements, but a gloomy outlook warns against engaging in this activity. Stoic thinkers contend that actions speak louder than words, thus boasting is discouraged. Your successes and development as a person, particularly if the goal is impure purposes, getting compliments from people to boost your ego or improving your personal image. Real growth can be shown in your conduct, demeanor, and relationships with individuals, irrespective of their status. It isn't true to only discuss growth without providing evidence of it. Growth supposes that, despite your best efforts to reach a significant objective, you are continuously boasting about the little actions you take and asking for praise from others around you that lessen your enthusiasm and drive to reach greater goals. Frequently, those who are always bragging about their accomplishments are not respected to the extent that they may wish to. So maintain your accomplishments throughout maintaining the privacy of your accomplishments, and the development process helps you maintain process focus and maintains your mind ready to take on new challenges. Only communicate your accomplishments when you are certain that they will benefit others. Others develop not only to gain transient praise, but also to exhibit humility and maintain your accomplishments confidential. Let your deeds and outcomes do the talking. We have traveled halfway through, and your presence is a tremendous source of encouragement as we work to spread the Stoic philosophy's true values to more people. So kindly hit the like and share buttons on this video to help others learn these friends and relatives, or write in the comments, "I'm prepared to adopt a Stoic lifestyle." Let's go on to the following 5 lessons if you're prepared. Don't say ungrateful on journey. Stoic secrets. Number 6. Avoid speaking gripeful phrases. Epictetus, the philosopher, reportedly remarked that he is a smart man who does not mourn the things that he does not possess, but is happy for others. That this viewpoint has the power to significantly alter your perspective on life. Stoic philosophy highlights the significance of thankfulness as a basis for inner serenity and happiness, and thankfulness are attitudes toward life rather than merely feelings. Constructive perspective on and appreciation of the small things. Consider instances in which you've gotten assistance or encouragement from others. How frequently do you share your sincere appreciation, or do you merely accept it as, when we lack gratitude, we not only forfeit the chance to demonstrate appreciation, but also diminish the good deeds that others perform for us? So why is expressing thankfulness important? And refrain from speaking negatively about anything in this enormous universe. Everything is a gift from nature and genuinely ours fate. You may believe that your diligence and hard effort have paid off efforts, but you wouldn't be able to perform at your best without a strong, healthy physique. You should be thankful for your finest self and your healthy physique, since they are gifts from fate. Even the little, seemingly obvious things, like wearing clothes and drinking water. Others may dream of having food and clothing, but how have I represented myself? Thankfulness for the blessings in my life on a regular basis not only makes us feel better, but also fosters a nice atmosphere. We are being grateful and breaking the pattern of taking things for granted. Would enable you to radically alter your perspective on life. If you are not thankful, you will not value life, and you will miss out on the chance to experience. Take a moment to consider your blessings and show your gratitude during these sweet moments. Your appreciation for the environment, even if it's only for a brief period of time, you'll discover that living makes life more important and lovely. Keep in mind that being grateful is more than simply feeling. It's also an action and an attitude that makes you feel calmer and happier before moving on. May I ask, do you frequently read historical fiction? Are you familiar with the tale of Troy? The story of Troy is a very clear example of a lesson. 7th, don't get too comfortable with 7th. Don't become too comfortable with who you are after the Greeks failed. Stoic secrets number 7. Don't take yourself too personally. Assaulted Troy for 10 years before feigning withdrawal and fleeing after much deliberation. The people of Troy decided to drag the enormous wooden horse inside, as a trophy as they reveled into the night. Greek warriors concealed inside the horse surfaced and defeated the sentries to the city gate, where they unlocked it for their allies who had stealthily returned on horseback. Troy's city was destroyed by fire, yet Troy's defeat was not inevitable, due to the Greeks' superior strength, but also because the Trojans had developed into complacent. Stoic philosophy highlights the perils of complacency, as this story demonstrates. That when we stop growing and instead become complacent, additionally succumb to the Stoics' temptations of conceit and sloth. After all, you're only a reminder from the cosmos that a lot of things are out of our control and forecasting. Therefore, keeping a low profile is importantly. Complacency can distort our understanding of reality and lead to overestimate our skills. Consider a period when you were successful in work or personal life. If you begin to believe that you've peaked and are no longer must work hard, if something goes wrong, you might begin to accept criticism for shown disregard for chances to develop, progress, and become. The enemy of development is complacent stagnation. If you allow it to rule, you'll disregard helpful criticism and neglect opportunities for growth in leadership. In addition to causing stagnation or even regression, complacency also not just at business, but also in your interpersonal interactions when you become overconfident. You might ignore the thoughts and feelings of other individuals, which could result in disputes and miscommunications. Have you observed that relationships flourish when you pay attention to and value the perspectives of others? Recall that progress requires humility and a willingness to learn. Success requires humility. Always remember there's always more to do. Study and develop. Consider what you can do to how can I get better and what input can I take in to help me become better in this manner. You can steer clear of the traps of complacency and cultivate a mentality of continue growing, because life is richer when you live in humility and with an open mind, and more fulfilling, and you'll accomplish goals you never thought possible. Before we move on to the next session. 8th, may I ask you a question? When are people at the worst times are usually when we're upset and thinking negatively. Have you ever observed that letting go of your emotions causes things to happen frequently, become worse, which is why Stoic philosophy places such a premium on exercising control and keeping your bad feelings to yourself in addition to self-defense, but also to uphold harmony and deference in Let's proceed to lesson number 8 on relationships. Your connections within the context of relationships. Every relationship will inevitably experience disagreements and misunderstandings. This is a normal part of human interaction, but how we handle these times can define the strength and health of our bonds. The Stoics teach us the value of discretion, especially in matters of the heart and conflict. It's a common mistake to broadcast our relationship struggles on social media or in casual conversations with acquaintances, but true wisdom lies in resolving these conflicts internally within the sanctity of the relationship itself. Relationships are built on mutual respect and the capacity to overcome obstacles together, rather than rashly disclosing the minute details of our disputes to friends or family. We should try to address them directly with those concerned. By doing so, we not only protect the confidentiality and dignity of the relationship, but also cultivate a deeper understanding and trust between the parties. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves or refusing outside help when necessary, but rather recognizing that the first and most crucial step is to communicate openly and honestly with our partner. In this journey of building and maintaining healthy relationships, we must embrace the Stoic principle of introspection. It teaches us to look inward, to understand our emotions and reactions, and to seek harmony within ourselves, before seeking it with others. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This wisdom encourages us to focus on the present moment in our relationships, dealing with conflicts as they arise, and cherishing the connection we have now. In conclusion, respecting the privacy of our relationships and handling conflicts internally are not just signs of emotional maturity. They are the cornerstones of lasting, meaningful connections. By practicing restraint and introspection, we align ourselves with Stoic teachings, leading to a life of greater understanding, fulfillment, and profound connection with those we hold dear. Through charitable deeds, we frequently come across the virtue of humility in the Stoic path, especially when kindness or generosity are involved. The profound and wise philosophy of Stoicism tells us that the true meaning of altruistic deeds is not in the recognition they may receive, but rather in their purpose and effect. As I think about this, a passage by the Stoic philosopher Seneca strikes a deep chord. True generosity is giving without expecting thanks or reward. This idea is especially important in the modern world, as social media is frequently used as a platform to highlight good activities. Why it's important to keep charity deeds secret. First of all, keeping your philanthropic deeds private guarantees the sincerity of your objectives. It's about giving of oneself, not about potential acclaim. This method avoids emphasizing the act of helping others in favor of the desire for social acceptance or immersion. It is a practice that is in perfect harmony with the Stoic idea of doing good for oneself, not for verification from outside sources. Secondly, you foster a true sense of empathy and compassion by keeping your charitable deeds hidden from the public. This method focuses on developing an honest giving spirit that aligns with the Stoic ideal of virtue being its own reward, rather than emphasizing obtaining external affirmation in order to discover internal fulfillment in helping others. Thirdly, you can avoid unforeseen repercussions by keeping your philanthropic deeds private. By keeping your charitable acts private, you respect the dignity of those you're helping and align with the Stoic value of treating others with respect and kindness. When we embrace Stoicism, we learn that the most profound rewards are those felt internally, rather than those recognized or celebrated by others. You would also hear more closely to the Stoic virtues of humility and selflessness, fostering a deeper connection with the essence of Stoicism. Publicizing such acts can occasionally lead to negative outcomes, like making the recipients feel embarrassed or indebted. This behavior not only demonstrates your character, but also serves as a reminder in today's hectic world that the real value of our deeds is not in the praise we receive, but rather in their intention and impact. Avoid airing personal issues. In this episode, we explore the important Stoic principle of keeping personal grievances to oneself. This is in line with the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher who advocated for bearing with life's hardships in a dignified manner rather than placing the burden of our problems on other people. Consider yourself sailing a stormy sea, where every complaint is like a wave that is difficult but surmountable. By deciding not to voice every adversity, you aren't repressing your feelings. Rather, you are fortifying your resilience and inner strength. This discipline, which is about discovering your inner compass and navigating life's storms with a calm and collected spirit, fits in perfectly with the Stoic ideal of self-reliance. Let's turn our attention inward and examine the Stoic approach to problem-solving. Stoicism isn't about ignoring challenges. Rather, it's about facing them head-on with a solution-oriented mindset. When you refrain from externalizing every grievance, you're more inclined to look for constructive ways to navigate and overcome these challenges. Additionally, think about the atmosphere you create around yourself. Consistently sharing grievances can unintentionally spread a cloud of negativity, impacting not only your own well-being, but also those in your circle. In the words of Seneca, another renowned Stoic philosopher, we suffer more often in our imagination than in reality. This profound insight reminds us that the way we perceive and internalize our experiences has a profound impact on our reality. By taking a Stoic approach to personal grievances, we can turn obstacles into opportunities for growth and learning. It's not only that you're studying antiquated philosophy, You're also giving yourself the ageless instruments of contemporary resilience. The goal of this Stoic self-discovery journey is to master your challenges with grace and wisdom, not to ignore them, transforming every obstacle into a springboard for a more peaceful and powerful life, hiding your weaknesses in the Stoic path. We frequently come across the idea of preserving a calm facade, particularly in the face of life's obstacles. The idea of hiding your vulnerabilities fits with this philosophy, which advocates for discretion and thoughtfulness in what we choose to reveal about ourselves. This approach is not about denial or suppression, but rather about choosing resilience and wisdom in our interactions. This concept is deeply rooted in the Stoic practice of managing emotions and presenting a composed front, even amidst adversity. Why it's important to keep vulnerabilities private. One maintains personal strength. In Stoicism, the sense of fortitude and perseverance is highly valued. You maintain an image of resilience by keeping your weaknesses hidden, which is important in both the personal and professional sectors of life. This approach is about acknowledging power and selective sharing, much like the Stoic philosopher Epic, rather than pretending to be invulnerable. Titus once stated that we should listen twice as much as we speak, because we only have one mouth and two ears. This highlights the significance of being thoughtful and measured in our disclosures. 2. Stops abuse. By keeping these parts of ourselves private, we protect ourselves from potential manipulation or harm. This is not an expression of mistrust toward others, but rather a prudent recognition of the complexities of human interactions. Throughout life, we may come across people who could exploit our vulnerabilities. It's about building a wall of defense so that we may move through life feeling safe and able to protect ourselves. Promotes introspection and personal development. Addressing your weaknesses in private encourages more in-depth introspection and personal development. This is consistent with Stoic self-improvement and introspective practices. A key component of Stoic philosophy is that we go on a journey of self-discovery and growth by addressing our vulnerabilities within. In essence, hiding your vulnerabilities is a deliberate attitude to life that mimics the Stoic characteristics of humility and resilience. It involves looking inside to discover strength rather than seeking outward affirmation or acknowledgement. We conclude today's journey on 14 things you should always keep private. Self-reliance and introspection is a call to prioritize personal growth and inner strength to navigate the modern world with wisdom and serenity. As we integrate these principles into our daily lives, we become more equipped to handle the ebbs and flows of existence with a calm and resilient spirit. I want you to think carefully about how these Stoic ideas can improve your life. Consider which of these concepts most resonated with you. Then, consider how you can apply these realizations to your everyday activities to promote happiness and personal development. Your path to Stoicism involves more than simply studying. It also involves putting these lessons into practice. I invite you to pause and leave a comment below with your ideas so that we can have a conversation that builds our Stoic community. Tell us about your struggles and victories, and if you're feeling really motivated, write "I am Stoic" in the comments to show your dedication to this life-changing journey. Keep in mind that Stoicism is essentially the discipline of quietly pursuing inner serenity and resilience. You become closer to true calm and self-mastery with each step you take when you put these concepts into practice. If you enjoyed our conversation today and are interested in learning more about Stoicism and how it may be applied to the real world, please like, subscribe, and share our channel. Wherever in your life, know that your assistance is not only valued but also essential to the expansion of our community of like-minded people who are searching for peace and enlightenment. I appreciate your participation in this trip. Your participation and excitement support our efforts to disseminate the ageless knowledge of Stoicism. We'll continue to examine and put the profound lessons of Stoic philosophy into practice in our upcoming video, which I hope to see you in. Until then, stay strong and stoic as we work together to create a meaningful and peaceful existence.